Let's go, bro.
Yes, my people, welcome back to EMGM Sports. It's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. Welcome back to another Monday night session. We're talking boxing today, and I've got my bro with me, special guest. I'm sure you've seen him around on YouTube. He's one of the big ones as well. He's coming up. We're coming for all the smoke. He's my boy, Bright. How you doing, bro? Welcome to EMGM Sports.
I'm good, brother. Thanks for having me on. We've always talked about, getting in touch. So it's good to, get talking and talk boxing because, we've been making some noise on YouTube. So it's good to come together and give the people something. Absolutely.
It's good to link up in it because obviously, like, I think you've had people mention me on your channel and I've had people mention you on my channel. So we had to make the link up.
Yeah, I've had people go, I watch you and Enzo's channel all the time. So, it's like it's a natural thing for us to come together and really, talk boxing and build a community. So it's really good, man. Absolutely.
Exactly. How long you been doing this YouTube thing? Like, how long you been covering boxing content now?
I'll be honest. Yeah. It's been actually just a year, and we're in November now. So yeah, just a year. I did the channel, and then I was procrastinating and really just thinking, should I get on it? Should I be serious about it? And then one day I thought, you know what, it's time to go. And then I started it. So it's been just a year really that I've been consistently, doing this channel, and I've seen the growth and so far really build a community, and there's so many people that I chat to with boxing. So yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I've seen your growth as well. How long has it been so far?
Nah, like solid as well. I'm like you, a year as well. It's been a year of just consistent posting and covering boxing content. It's been a year. I'm like you as well. I was gonna ask you as well, like, what's been some of your challenges since you started the channel?
I think growing on YouTube is the challenge itself, right? Because we start from scratch, so we build our audiences and people that we sort of interact with on a day-to-day basis with boxing are people that we sort of build out of nothing. So we're not on TV, we're not on radio, we just come out of nowhere. So I think the growth of trying to build that audience is what has been challenging. But again, that challenge is exciting, and I really enjoy sort of meeting new people and getting those messages from people going like, you're doing really well, really enjoy your content, your breakdown and things like that. So there's a challenge, which is the growth being a small creator, but the challenge is also an exciting challenge that I've really enjoyed.
Nah, that's good. I'm gonna keep it real, man. Me and you, like, we're on that list. We them next up where we're coming with our realness. You know what I mean? Like, we don't beat around the bush. We're not here to please nobody. Do you know what I mean? We say like we see it. It should be that way. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm glad that we're linking up. So today, we're gonna talk a bit of boxing. There's been some breaking news today as well. Itauma, Jermaine, Franklyn is going down, I believe, January the 16th. We're gonna touch on that. Yeah, that's gonna be the main meal of this live today. But I just want us to go back a bit at the weekend. Virgil Ortiz against Erickson Lubin. Virgil Ortiz got that win. Obviously, Ennis Boots came onto the ring after that. They're talking they're gonna fight. We're not sure yet because in boxing, until it's signed, we don't know. But it's an exciting fight for us to look forward to. But in terms of Virgil Ortiz, his performance against Erickson Lubin, how did you see that performance? How much did you rate it?
I mean, I think it's a good performance. I'd expected more from Lubin. I thought he was going to give me more.
Yeah.
But I do understand that Ortiz is a much better fighter than Lubin. And I think you even alluded to that Lubin has been in the industry for a long time. He's been fighting, he turned pro a long time ago. And, boxing is such an interesting spectacle because the more you're doing it, the lesser your time in the sport is. And of course, you get better, but your legs start to go. And I just saw in that fight that his legs are not the same, and Ortiz, his performance was great and he did what he had to do. Like, he got in there, he had to get rid of his man and he basically did exactly what he's meant to do. You don't get paid for overtime, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
before we came on air, you mentioned something
yeah,
that's really important. I mentioned in my post-fight reaction as well. When you're fighting against Virgil Ortiz, the last thing you want to do is get pushed back against the ropes because he's one of the best in the business. That was a big mistake from Lubin.
ah,
And you know what? Yeah, one thing I want to touch on. Remember Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker
yeah,
when the referee Howard Foster stepped in too early.
yeah,
Mate,
yeah.
what did you think of the performance from the referee on this fight?
Do you know what?
That's an exemplary referee, innit? That's what a referee is meant to do, innit? He saved
Do you know what?
Lubin, innit? Because he was out on his feet.
Yeah, yeah. Us as boxing fans, we love to
Yeah.
complain, and maybe not you and I as much, but like
Mm.
on the internet, and people love to complain about whether it's an early stoppage or, the referee did this, referee did that. But ultimately, the referee is actually in the ring, and they're looking at these fighters, their reactions, thinking, I need to save this person because you and I know boxing is a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
One shot can change someone's life forever. We've seen it so many times. Gerald McClellan is an example, right? One shot,
Mm.
anything can happen, and it's done. So I thought the Parker stoppage was a little bit early.
Yeah.
However, and I said it in my preview. However, Parker, I don't think did enough to not give the referee the chance not to stop that fight. Do you see what I'm saying? Like he didn't do
Mm.
enough to get the referee to go, okay, I need to let Parker stay in here for a little bit longer. So, people can and ah about it, but in the end, I feel like the referee is just doing a job there. And if he thought that Parker was doing enough, he wouldn't have stopped that fight. And I think in this fight, Lubin needed saving from the referee because he
Yeah, he
was on
went
the road.
numb.
Yeah, he was getting beat. He was getting beaten up, and the
Yeah.
referee had to do his job and stop the fight. So sometimes we complain, but referees, they know what they're doing. Unfortunately, we don't like it, but you're saved to fight another day. Really, Joseph Parker can now go and fight another day. We don't know what would have happened if a shot would have landed. Could have been
Mm.
different. You
Yeah,
see?
that's true. That's true, man. But you know me, I'm sorry, Howard Foster. He's made too many errors, too many mistakes in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
past, man. But he keeps getting these big fights, man. I don't know,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Something needs to change,
He
man.
he, wa- he was
This
the
needs to stop.
referee in Carl Froch versus
Yeah, versus Groves.
what's it called? Yeah, yeah. He was that referee, wasn't he? So he has the history
Yeah,
of doing these things, right? He has a history of stopping fights earlier than they should stop, but he keeps getting the big fights. So there must be
yeah,
something that the commission feels like he's doing right in these fights. But yeah, it's questionable. But in this fight with Lubin and Ortiz, I think it was the right decision to make. Absolutely.
yeah. I think I really praise that referee, man. He stopped it. He stepped in at the right time. And his boots. He jumped in the ring afterwards. They had a few words between the two fighters. And his boot said, yo, sign the contract. Virgil Ortiz said, sign the contract. Both men shook hands. They agreed. Now, one thing I want to make clear is both guys are interim champions. So I think Virgil Ortiz is the WBC interim champion and Ennis Boots is the WBA interim champion. So if these two guys were to fight, it won't be for the real title, which is a shame for me because a fight of that magnitude, I think that should be for a title or unification, right? Do you
that's a
think
shame. Yeah.
that fight actually happens next? Or do you think the promoters are going to find a way to kind of delay until both fighters have titles? Because it will be for bigger money, bro.
That's it. That's a good question. We know Eddie Hearn, right? And Eddie
Mm,
Hearn would love to make the fight as a world title fight, right?
exactly.
Um, and I think that what they just did there in that ring is a promotion for the fight to come later. I think what they're going to
Yeah.
do is they'll take a fight in between and then try and get a world title, right? Someone needs to vacate a belt and then they're going to fight. So I think it's
Yeah.
all good sort of doing the promotion because Boots Ennis is growing his stardom.
Yeah.
Virgil Ortiz hasn't crossed over to the casuals yet, right? So
Yeah.
it's good for them to do all these things in the ring. But I think Eddie Hearn would know that he needs to have a world title on the line for these two to fight. And that is when he can really push it to the casuals and make a lot of money. So I think this is just a promo. I think they're going to hold on until they get a world title before they do that big fight. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I was speaking to a few boxing fans as well. They're telling me they don't believe that's going to be the next fight, simply because if you make that fight next, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, because think about how big that fight will be with a title. So Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya, these are, two of the biggest promoters in boxing right now. They're very intelligent, smart businessmen. So I think they're gonna delay, innit? They're hyped it up, but I'm with you on that one. I think they're gonna delay. Moving on from go on, man. Go on, bro.
No, I was gonna say the Mexican crowd is massive.
It's massive.
And then you got, the American crowd as well. So if they hype this fight up really well, they can get a massive crowd in the US and do a stadium or something. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that, but I just want to read a few questions. People are dropping a few questions here. I'm just gonna read them out. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you answer them.
Yeah.
While I pull up, I'm gonna flip the screen soon, so we can look at these. We can take a look at this Moses Itauma headline card that's coming in on January 16th. So hold on, let me just see. Let me pull that first question there. So the first question comes from Godzilla 2005. Question for you two realest in the game. Oh, wow. You're bright. You're considered one of the realest in the game now.
That's it. Just announce myself one of the realest in the game.
You're one of the realest in the game now. It's been confirmed, man, by one of my long-term viewers. So he's asking, who wins out of prime Anthony Joshua and Fabio Wardley? I'll let you answer that.
Prime Anthony Joshua. So we're talking about, what is prime Anthony Joshua? That's a good question.
Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir
Is
Klitschko?
That prime Anthony Joshua?
I think that's prime.
I would say Povetkin, because Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko was a good fight, but Joshua was a little bit green, right?
I see what you mean.
So I would say, yes, he was a bit green, right? So I would say Povetkin was prime Anthony Joshua, right? Povetkin, that was a beautiful knockout. I think Joshua has a number of things that, he has the advantage over Fabio Wardley. I think Joshua hits harder than Fabio Wardley. Joshua has a better boxing IQ than Fabio Wardley. But I don't think Joshua takes a good shot than Fabio. Now, Fabio Wardley hasn't been hit very hard. We don't know that yet, because, he's yet to face some punches and get hit. So we don't know that yet. But I think I'm definitely going to go with Joshua, because Joshua, I think, hits harder, has better boxing IQ, and is a massive present guy. Like that guy that fought Povetkin, I think beats any Fabio Wardley that steps in a ring, because I think he's just rugged. That Povetkin guy that Joshua fought Povetkin was just too good on the night, and I think he beats Fabio Wardley absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
I think I'll go with prime Joshua, man. I think prime Joshua, when he had all that confidence before Andy Ruiz, absolutely
before the
just
Ruiz
took
fight,
everything. That's what I'm saying. I think since Andy Ruiz, Joshua's just been scared to get hit, man. He doesn't want to engage. But if you put before the Andy Ruiz Joshua, I think he beats, because Wardley's in his prime right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's not even a good boxer.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
He's got now box in every fight. He has got now box in every fight.
Is his sheer grit, courage, and determination that saved him? Because do you know what I mean? But Joshua, if you look at Joshua is an Olympic gold medalist. He's got very good, solid boxing fundamentals. So I'm with you, man. I think Joshua takes him out of there. Second question, let me get this up here. Second question comes from Farhan Karim. He says, Moses Itauma versus Franklyn is a decent fight. Itauma might get tested against experienced Franklyn. UK public know him too. Franklyn is not too Itauma. Franklyn is not Itauma around. This is a mistake. I think he's trying to say Franklyn knocks out Itauma round 2. This is a mistake. So basically what Farhan is saying, big mistake from Frank Warren. and Moses
to make that
Itauma for
fight.
taking this fight. Yeah. What do you think of that? What's your take on that? Is there a mistake?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Look,
Yeah.
Anyone that's been watching my channel for a while, for a little bit now, you have seen that
Yeah.
I have been saying Itauma needs to take learning fights. He needs to take fights that will test him because I think
Yeah.
he's unproven. We don't know if he can take a shot. We don't know if he can come back from losing to win a fight. We don't know if
Yeah.
he can adjust in fights. We don't know if he can find the mental fortitude at some point to win a fight. There's so many questions about Itauma that we do not know. And I've always said that he needs to take learning fights in order for us to know if he's the real deal, because he's still young and there's so much that he needs to do in boxing.
Yeah.
However, I think Franklyn would give him that, will ask some questions. Let's put it that way. Franklyn will ask some
Yeah.
questions. I think Itauma stops Franklyn, but I don't think it's a fight that goes 2 or 3 rounds. I think Franklyn is very durable. He has good boxing ability.
Yeah.
He can take a shot. We saw Joshua and Dillian White couldn't get him out of there. So, we know that he can fight big punches. And, he's young enough to be able to hang in there with the speed that Itauma brings. So I think ultimately it's going to be a test for Itauma, absolutely. But if Itauma is the guy that the British public have known to be, or, the boxing media is saying that he should be able to get rid of Franklyn in that fight. In the middle rounds, he should be able to get rid of Franklyn. So I think Itauma wins this fight, but I think it's going to be a difficult fight. I think at times it's going to be dangerous, but I think he comes through it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you. I just flipped my screen. I don't know if can you see the screen? Can you see what I'm showing now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at Jermaine Franklyn's looking at his box rec here. Mate, he's lost 2 fights. We know obviously one of them was against Anthony Joshua a couple of years ago. Well, it was back in 2023, yeah? Unanimous decision. And then he lost against Dillian White, majority decision.
White,
He's never been stopped. And,
no,
let's think about it. When he fought Joshua, obviously, Joshua was a bit timid. He was scared to go for it. He fought Dillian White back in 2022. If you think back, Dillian White 2022 is a solid Dillian White, That's not a joke, Dillian White. And neither of those fighters were able to knock him out. So obviously, Jermaine Franklyn, he's no spring chicken, is he? He's not a walkover. This ain't going to be a cake walk, bro. This is going to be tough, like you said, man.
No. It's not because the thing about the fighters that Itauma has fought, so far in his career is, they've apart from Dillian White, which in hindsight is a beautiful thing, right? And I thought Dillian White was going to be quite dangerous in that fight for Itauma, and then it ended up not being. So as I said, hindsight is a beautiful thing, but I thought that he was going to be a serious contender. I think apart from Dillian White, every other fighter that has fought came to lay down. They knew that they were going to lose, but they came to get the money and then go. Franklyn is young. He is ambitious. He would know that he needs to come in there and try and have a fight. And if he can perform, or if he can have his career best performance and take Itauma into deep waters and latter rounds and really push Itauma, he's going to get more fights after that. So he's ambitious, which means that he's going to come in here and he's going to put everything on the line. So Franklyn's not going to come and lay down. And that's what makes this fight dangerous. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at the actual main event on the Queensbury Promotions on their page.
It's a good card.
It's a good card, man.
Yeah. It's a decent card, man.
That's a good card, bro. That's not bad, isn't it? January.
What's the title? What did they title this card?
Oh man, I can't see, but what they title?
You can't see. Okay.
The Magnificent.
Magnificent 7. Yeah. Was it Magnificent 7?
Yeah. I tell you what fights that I'm looking forward to.
Which one?
I think the Thompson versus Poole will be a good fight. Hutchinson versus Taylor. Mate, did you watch Taylor? Taylor's good, man.
Yeah.
Hutchinson versus Taylor, that's a good fight, bro. That Taylor is very, very good. You know who trains Taylor? You know his coach?
No.
He's trained by your boy, the guy that trains, that used to train Deontay Wilder. Malik Scott Malik, whatever his name is.
He?
Yeah.
Yeah, Malik Scott. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Um, he's a good fighter. Um, you know, it you know the light heavyweight sort of landscape is really
yeah,
interesting, right? You've got the Beterbiev and Bivol. These guys are, they are the kings of the division, right? And then you've
yeah,
got Boatsi. Now you have Benavides in a mix. You got Joshua Boatsi, Anthony Yard. So these guys, you've and even Eddie Hearn have got a card in Ghana on the 20th of December. I don't know if you've seen this.
I've seen
Have
that.
you
I've seen
seen
that
this?
card. Apparently,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
trying to say that Joshua might be on that. So I'm not.
Okay.
It's so
Yeah,
confusing.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. But you've got Craig Richards and Dan Aziz also on that card. So
yeah,
the light heavyweight division is just booming at the moment, right? And I think these guys, if they can put on a good performance on this card, then they put themselves in the mix to have some big fights as well. Along the line. So yes, it's definitely a really good matchup for
yeah. For
those
me,
two.
the light heavyweight division at the moment, I'm talking like globally in the world. I feel
Yeah,
like there's like it's got like different tiers to it. So you've got the very
yeah,
elite fighters. You've got the likes of Beterbiev. You've got Bivol. Yeah, those are the
mm,
two outstanding elite
yeah,
world class fighters on there. Then
yeah,
after
yeah.
that, you've got the Benavides. You've got the Liam Smith. No, not Liam Smith. Sorry, Callum Smith. Yeah,
Colin
and then
Smith. Yeah,
after those two, you got the likes of like Anthony Yard, and
yeah.
then you've got what's his name? The guy that won last week. The guy that Anthony Yard beat.
Joshua
What's
Boatsi.
his name? No. The
Which one?
light skin one.
Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon
Lyndon
Arthur.
Alpha. You've got. I put
Yeah,
Lyndon
Lyndon
Alpha
Arthur.
above Joshua Boati at the moment. I'm sorry, man. Am I being unfair there? Because look,
I,
Lyndon Alpha has
I,
achieved more than Boati, bro. He's got a European
he
title.
has. Yeah, he's. Look, I'm so disappointed. Like I like Joshua Boatsi. I
Yeah,
really do. Excuse me. And when he came up, I thought he was gonna be something incredible because he's an
yeah,
Olympic bronze medalist, right? Bronze. He's Olympian. He is.
yeah,
And he was touted to be the next big thing in the UK.
yeah,
And then he was on Matchroom Boxing, and that didn't work out. And then he left and went to Boxer, and Boxer got his issues, and now he's gone to Frank Warren. He hasn't really kicked on and
yeah,
done
yeah,
anything serious. He's a very good fighter, but it just hasn't worked out for him. And I think he beats Lyndon Arthur, but
yeah.
we can only say we've not seen it. He hasn't fought him yet, so we wouldn't know. Whereas Anthony Yard has gone on to do, and I've got some criticism. Look, I'll be making an Anthony Yard video very soon because his fight is coming up, and I
Yeah,
like Anthony Yard as well. But I think he hasn't taken enough big fights to give him that experience at what level when he goes for these, title fights, and that's why he's losing. And that's the truth. And I know Tunde Ajayi might even see my video and he might complain about it, but Tunde can come on the channel and we can and we can
we
have
can
it out.
talk it,
But
man. We can
I
talk it out, man.
and we can talk about. But I just think that he's not fighting enough, good fighters to prepare him for the world titles, and that's why he's losing when he gets to the world title because he's not primed to be there. He's not fighting the right fights together. But don't let me get sidetracked. But I'm just saying that Joshua Boatsi, I really liked him. I was looking forward to his career. I've watched every single fight of Joshua Boatsi. I've paid to watch it. I've watched it wherever it is. He just hasn't done it. And so when you say that Lyndon Arthur is better than him on paper, I cannot say he's not because he's not proving it, right? He hasn't fought the big guys, and we don't know what he's made of, really. One thing I must say though is I think Joshua Boatsi needs to leave Virgil Hunter. What do you think? I think he's not getting the best out of him. Seriously,
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
he's getting the
Nah.
best out of him. I think it's just he's just plodding around in the ring. It's uninspiring. I think he needs to find Andy Lee. Andy Lee would be the best trainer for Joshua Boatsi. I think he would get the best out of his attribute because he can punch. But where is that punch? Right? He's got boxing IQ. He's an Olympian. Where is that boxing IQ? So I think he needs to change his trainer. But what do you think about him
Yeah,
being with
nah,
Virgil Hunter?
I agree with you because you know the thing about Virgil Hunter, yeah, he's one of those spiritual guys, very calm. Like even if you look at the
Yeah,
performance from Joshua Boati when he
it's
fought
just
against what is he, Zach Parker,
Isaac
the
Parker. Yeah,
way Joshua Boati performed from round 1 all the way to round 10, it was the same pace the whole way through. There
yeah,
was no
yeah,
urgency. There was no change of tactics. There was no adjustments. There was absolutely nothing. He looked slow, lethargic. He was missing. I had him losing the fight, yeah? And there was no urgency from the coach. Normally, the coach would start getting agitated and get, add a bit of urgency to the fight. So for me personally, I respect Virgil Hunter, everything he's achieved in the game with what's his name? What's the great fighter? Andre Ward. I respect what he did there. But I believe Joshua Boati should join someone like Derek James, who's a very aggressive fighter who coached Errol Spence, or go with Bomac, Terence Crawford's coach. Do you know what I mean? I think these two guys will bring that. Because Boati, like you said, in the Olympics and his early career, he was knocking guys out.
Yeah.
He was very aggressive.
I mean, his early fights, he was knocking people out.
Yeah.
He has the power. And one thing I liked about Joshua was his jab was incredible. It wasn't a rangefinder. It was a round rope jab. Like, the jab is pushing your head back. And then he's following up with the right hand down the pipe. And he was doing some really good work. His footwork was decent. He can take a shot. Like, we saw that in the Callum Smith fight. Bossy can take a shot.
He took a shot, man. My God.
Like, he's resilient. He can take a shot. He's got good boxing IQ. He's an Olympian. He's got a pedigree. He just needs a trainer that can bring the best out of him. And so far, unfortunately, we're just not seeing enough. And if he should fight Anthony Yarde right now, you have to make Anthony Yarde the favorite.
Anthony Yarde knocks him out. Look at the amount of times Zach Parker was touching him up. Anthony Yarde will knock him out.
You have to make Yarde the favorite. But before when he was on Matchroom and he was having some really good run in fights, I would have picked him to beat Yarde.
Yeah,
because that time Yarde wasn't. Yeah, I would have picked him to beat Yarde, let's say 3 or 4 years ago. But now, I'd go Yarde is the favorite because Yarde looks like
he's definitely regressed.
Yeah,
he's definitely regressed.
So,
what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna read out some more questions here from people in the audience. Farhan Karim is come back. Virgil Ortiz has officially ducked. I guess he's saying ducked Ennis Boots. Virgil manager won Errol Spence. Okay, they won Errol Spence fight. They won Boots. Charlie winner. If that and the winner of these will fight each other. Official news, mate. So basically, what Farhan is saying is that apparently Virgil Ortiz, the ducking Ennis Boots, they prefer to have the Errol Spence fight. What do you think of that, Bright? What do you think of that development there?
I mean, everyone would want Errol Spence. Is it Errol Spence or Terence
No.
Crawford?
Virgil Ortiz and his manager, they're pursuing the Errol Spence fight instead of Ennis Boots.
I mean, we just touched on this before, right? Errol Spence is not a title holder at this point, but he's a big name, right? His last fight against Terence Crawford, he lost. He hasn't come back here, so this will be his comeback fight. We have to think about smart matchmaking, and what they're probably thinking is we can beat Errol Spence, make the name, hype the fights up, and then fight Boots Ennis, after that. So I understand why they want to take the Errol Spence fight, and also the Boots Ennis fight. As we said, there's no world title on the line. No. So is he going to risk losing his interim title for that? I don't think so. So I think fans might not be happy, but his team are probably making the right decision for him if they want to take the Errol Spence fight. I think the Boots Ennis fight is definitely going to happen, but both of them need to have the opportunity to fight for a vacant title or any title on the line. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, man. Next question. Let me read another comment here from Elden Joe Gaming. I think he's the real deal. I think he's talking about Moses Itauma there. Howard Foster will ensure that Itauma gets a TKO at least.
But is he going to be the referee, though? Do we know?
I would not be surprised. Frank Warren seems to love Howard Foster, man. Uncle Frank, look, he loves Howard Foster for some reason, man. He keeps hiring him for fights.
Yeah, look, Frank is saving his fighters. You know what? Look, the thing is, if Franklyn is good, and I think he's decent, if on the
Yeah,
nine he has his best performance, he can really trouble Moses Itauma because Moses Itauma doesn't know. He has not had the experience that Franklyn has had. Let's put it this way, right? Franklin's
yeah,
fought Dylan White when Dylan White was good. He's fought Anthony
yeah.
Joshua when Joshua was coming off
When
that
Josh was
Ruiz
good, yeah,
loss, and he was, yeah, and you know Joshua, although he was gun shy, he still has good boxing IQ.
yeah,
And he took Joshua to 12 rounds or 10 rounds, maybe that fight was. So he's good, and I think he can be a dangerous fighter to Itauma. So we'll see how it goes. I need to make my reaction video to that fight, which I'll do after this. But I think that fight ends quite badly. So
okay.
look, I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Don't give too much away
Yeah, no, no,
for your
absolutely.
reaction video
Just
because you're gonna.
yeah, just
But
check
what I
my
want to
channel.
hear from you, yeah, what I want to hear
Yeah,
from you on just let's just conclude this. Moses has told me breaking news that is gonna headline the
yeah.
magnificent card on the what's that, the 26th, right? No, the 24th of
20th
January
or 24th of
2026.
Jan. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
24th, yeah, against
yeah,
Jermaine Franklyn. Now,
yeah,
from what you've seen from Mosai Tuma so far, his last fight against Dillian
yeah.
White, very easy.
Mm.
Fight before that, Mike Balogun, very
Excuse me.
easy.
Yeah.
What do you want to see next up in the evolution and progression of Mosai Tuma? What challenges and what questions do you want to get answered in this fight against Jermaine Franklyn? Like for you to be convinced that no, this kid is the real deal.
That's a good question. Um, I think number one, he needs to. We need to see him go into the latter rounds, right? Round
Yeah,
8, 9, 10. See how his gas tank is at that time when fatigue sets in, when he's been hit by his opponent. I
yeah,
think we need to see him take a shot, right? Maybe body shots, but also some shots to the head. See how he reacts when he takes a big shot. Um, you know, because I don't know if he can fight on a back foot because we haven't seen him fight on a back foot, have we? We haven't seen him fight on a back
nah,
foot because
no,
he's
yeah,
always
nah,
on the front foot. Yeah, and Franklyn don't all fight he doesn't fight on a back foot. So it's
nah,
two fighters that don't fight on a back foot coming together. It's just going to be a collision course, right? They're just going to stand in the middle of the ring and start swinging away. So one thing that I want to see in this Franklyn fight is that he's taken to the latter rounds and see how he deals with the pressure of
yeah,
not getting his fighter out of there in the earlier round. Like the thing about punches and knockout artists is they fall in love with their power so much that because they're knocking everyone out in the earlier rounds, sometimes when they get to the latter rounds and they still haven't gotten rid of their fighter or the
yeah,
opponent in there, they get a bit anxious and nervous, and then their thought is all over the place. So it'll be interesting to see if by round 7, 8, Franklin's still in there, being competitive, landing shots, being aggressive. I want to see how Itauma looks like in the ring and how he's gonna turn things around, how he's gonna deal with the fact that he hasn't gotten rid of his man, which in his previous fight he's done that. At least by round 2 he's gotten rid of everyone. So it'd be interesting to see how he deals with being in the latter rounds.
yeah. I'm the same as you, to be honest. I really want to see. I just want to see the kid tested, man. I want to see someone touch that chin. I want to see how he reacts. That would he get the chicken legs and start doing the chicken dance?
Yeah,
Does he take an 8 count and then gathers himself and come back? Would he give up on himself? So there's still a lot of questions, unanswered questions that we need to find out, that we need answers for from Moses Tuma. So I'm looking forward to this card. I'm really looking forward to this card. It's going to be a good one. I think the matchmaking is a bit of a risk, I'll be honest,
yeah,
because even before Jermaine Franklyn, we was hearing about Frank Sanchez, right? I think that was the right
yeah,
decision. I know you did a video talking about ducking and that, but I think it was I think it was a sensible decision because Frank Sanchez, listen, man, he
Frank
can,
he's a dog, isn't it?
yeah.
He's he's a dog.
He
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do damage.
Like,
So I think that was the right
they
decision, though, man. You know?
yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing. Why they didn't take
Yeah.
that fight? They knew it.
Eh,
And I think Franklyn is the right opponent. I think Franklin's the right opponent. Absolutely.
Yeah. You give him the right test, innit? That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
step up for him to get
yeah,
tested. Yeah, we're gonna part that now. We're gonna we'll look
yeah,
forward to that. Make sure you go check out the Bright Show boxing podcast. Check out my boy
yeah,
Bright. He's gonna do a breakdown there. He's gonna do the analysis. Make sure you go check out that channel. Now, this Saturday, we got the big one. Yeah, we got the
yeah,
big one this Saturday. The rematch between Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Ben. We already know what happened the first time, the controversy. Chris Eubank Jr. beefing against his dad, Conor Ben, the egg slap, and there was a lot happening. Like, there was a hype behind this fight, yeah? The rematch, I feel like it's been a bit dampened a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not getting the drama from the first fight. That's understandable.
yeah,
But it's a big fight, yeah? We're going to talk about this fight. But you, today, I believe you dropped a breakdown on that fight, yeah? So
yeah,
I think you gave an overview of how both fighters can win. So what I want to do, what I normally do, I react to people's videos. I react to other YouTubers' videos because I'm not a hater, man.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I watch people's videos and I admire, like, he's doing the right thing. So what we're going to do right now, we're not going to talk about the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben fight right now between me and you. Because what we're going to do, we're going to listen to what my bro Bright has to say about this fight and, you know, how he breaks it down, how he thinks both fighters can win this fight. So let's make sure that's Bright's channel there. As you can see, the Bright Show podcast boxing. Make sure you go right now. So if you're not subscribed, please head over there right now. Smash the likes on this video and also subscribe to his channel. He's one of the real ones as well. Make sure you do that. So okay, let's get into this. Let's watch this breakdown, man. And I'll be reacting to what you're saying. I'm gonna be critiquing you here. Let's see if you got this right.
Let's do it. Right, this is the Bright Show podcast boxing. Don't forget to support, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your comments in the section below. So let's start with Chris Eubank Jr. The first thing I noticed is that Eubank Jr. did not use his reach, height, and weight advantage as much as he should have used in the first fight. And what that did was it gave Conor Ben the opportunity.
Yeah, listen. Your opening statement there, I agree with you. Yeah, I think he definitely didn't utilize his reach, his height. I think a lot of the time he was bending down to Conor Ben's level. Hence, he was getting caught with that right hand. Do you know what I mean? He didn't really judge the distance early on. But so far, so good. I'm in agreement with this. Let's carry on.
To also land shots that he shouldn't be able to get close enough to land. What Eubank Jr. should have done is keep Conor Ben at the end of the jab, make him miss, make him pay. Every time that Conor Ben wants to come on the inside, he has to stop that momentum with a left hook, a double jab, and then right hand down the pipe. Just keep Conor Ben away from the danger zone, which is coming close and letting his hands go. And I think Eubank Jr. did not do that enough in the first fight. He should be using his reach advantage and his size to be pushing the smaller fighter back. And Eubank Jr. should have used that advantage to put Conor Ben more on his back foot, landed shots to the body, landed shots to the head, and really stamp his authority in this fight. But what I saw was that Conor Ben was actually having success because Eubank Jr. did not use his reach, height, and weight advantage enough in the earlier rounds. What I saw was he did use that in the latter rounds, but this fight could have been much easier for Eubank Jr. a bit more earlier in the fight. The second thing that I saw is that Eubank Jr. did not win the mental battle in the ring. Yes, Eubank Jr.
Hold on. I want to give you Why Chris Eubank Jr. didn't win the mental battle? Why did you say that? Just quickly.
Because he said after the fight that he was surprised that Conor Ben was still in there.
Yeah.
In the interview, he said, I was surprised. I thought I would have gotten rid of him, but he was in there. He won the mental battle. In my opinion, he won the mental battle during the press conference because, he had everyone saying that, everyone was behind him. He talked about it. He did the egg slap, and then he talked about Conor Ben, failing drugs tests, and the world and the public was behind him. But in the ring, he couldn't break Conor Ben's, mental fortitude because his idea was to try and get rid of the inexperienced fighter because Chris Eubank Jr. is the experienced fighter. and he couldn't get rid of the inexperienced fighter in there because he just couldn't break him down. He just couldn't break him mentally. And I think that was one of the reasons why this fight was too difficult for Eubank Jr. to win. Because the reason why I say that is because Eubank Jr. had to resort to fighting aggressive in the latter rounds to make sure that he had won the fight. If he didn't fight aggressive, if he didn't, use his weight and height advantage in the latter rounds to get the judges to feel like he was winning that fight, it could have been a draw. He
Yeah.
couldn't break Conor Benn's mental fortitude. That's how I saw the fight. And he said it after the fight in an interview. He said, I'm surprised that he's still in there. I'm surprised that he went the whole round with me. I wanted to get rid of him, but I just couldn't.
All right. I hear you. All right, let's carry on.
Won the mental battle during the fight build-up where he hit Conor Benn with an egg. He talked about the fact that Conor Benn failed a drugs test, and he actually got the public behind him. But when he got into the ring, he gave Conor Benn too many opportunities to build his confidence during the fight. And that is why the fight became more difficult for Eubank Jr. than it did for Conor Benn. And the reason why I say that is Eubank Jr. himself, after the fight, said that he underrated Conor Benn's ability to stay in a fighter like Conor Benn, who is very aggressive, who is very emotional. The way to defeat such a fighter is to make sure that you're chipping away round by round. So what Eubank Jr. should have done is not give Conor Benn the opportunity to land all these shots that he did land in the beginning to gain confidence from. What he should have done, and what I mentioned in the first point, is to make sure that he can control the range, that he can stop Conor Benn from landing shots earlier. And that is going to frustrate Conor Benn because he's very emotional. And because of that, he's going to make a lot of mistakes. And Eubank Jr. will then capitalize on those mistakes. But instead, Eubank Jr. did not win that mental battle. Give Conor Benn some opportunities to land shots to gain his confidence. And then there's something that Eubank Jr. should have overcame earlier in that fight. And then the third mistake that I saw Eubank Jr. do is that he dips his head to his right every time that Conor Benn throws the right hand. And that means that he becomes susceptible to the left hook or to the left uppercut. And Conor Benn did not throw that left hook enough in the first fight. And also that check left hook, he did not throw that shot enough in that fight because Eubank Jr. was always available to be hit with the left hook because he dips his head low every time Conor Benn throws that right hand, and he was just open to be...
Yeah, I agree with that part. I do agree with that part. I agree with that sentence there. That's definitely a mistake from Junior.
With a left hook, and that reminds me of Andy Ruiz when he landed that crisp hook on the top of Anthony Joshua's head. His equilibrium was gone, and that was the beginning of...
By the way, Bright, how, obviously you've got a lot of clips going on here. How long does that take to edit? Just for the people in the audience to understand
that took
what
me
goes
about
into
2 hours.
production.
Yeah. That took me about 2 hours to edit that video.
So 2 hours to edit a 9-minute video. That is...
Yeah.
You see my people, yeah? So make sure you head over. As I'm going to show you here, I haven't liked it yet. I'm going to go... I like the video. Make sure you go there and leave a comment as well because, listen, man, we put the work that we have to put in to bring you this content, to break down the fights, and it's mad, isn't it? So when you see someone putting the work like this, please, man, show your appreciation and just like the video, drop a comment and subscribe as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you're just going to help us. What you do, when you do all that, you motivate us to just make more of this type of videos.
Going.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To keep going, yeah. All right, let's carry on.
The end, and I think that shot was always there for Conor Benn to land. And I think now, if it's a punch, that can end the fight if landed perfectly. And Conor Benn would have the opportunity to land that shot if Eubank Jr. keeps making that same mistake again in the rematch. So now let's take a look at Conor Benn. The first thing I noticed was Conor Benn was too emotional. Way too emotional. It is clear that Conor Benn is an emotional character, which means that he's too tense. He's not relaxed. He's making silly mistakes. He's throwing shots here and there. He's not landing the shots that he needs to land, and he's all over the place. And that's what I saw all over this fight because Conor Benn, although he is the smaller, shorter fighter, fighting the bigger guy, if he was emotionally stable in this fight, he would have had more success than he did in this fight because there were shots. Rematch, he cannot be too emotionally invested. Yes, I know family legacy is on the line. I know it's a rivalry.
Bright, just on that note there, that you've touched on in terms of like Conor Benn's emotion and everything in the first fight. Obviously, I do agree with you. In the first fight, in terms of like the mental warfare, Chris Eubank Jr. was able to get into the mind of Conor Benn. And I think in the face-off, the recent face-off that they did, even Conor Benn agreed to that. But what's your take this time around when it comes to the mindset of Conor Benn? How did you view the face-off between the two fighters? Because I'm seeing some people saying that Chris Eubank Jr. had the upper hand, the mental edge. Some people are saying Conor Benn is coping with it a little bit better this time around. But from your point of view, has Conor Benn been able to like overcome the emotions, and can he cope with the mental warfare better this time around?
Look, I think first of all, not many people know how to control a press conference or a face-off better than Eubank Jr. Like, I think he's taken over from his father. He knows how to do that very well. So Conor Benn is never going to be able to win that battle. But what I can see in Conor Benn this time around is that he's learned from those mistakes, right? Being too overly emotional, over in his head and wanting to get the knockout so badly and just throwing shots. Every shot he was throwing just done landing. It just looks silly and just wasting energy. I think he's learned from that. I think he'll be better in this fight. But at the same time, I think at some point he's going to revert to type, right? You know this, right? You just revert to type. And once he gets hit a few times, you just revert to type.
He'll be out of the water, man. All those tactics, man. It's a family feud, man.
I think but I think he'll learn from it. I think he will place his shots better. I think he'll take his time, but I don't think he wins the face-off or the press conference or any interview. Eubank Jr. is just a master of those sort of things. But Conor Benn, I think, will be a bit better than he was in the first fight emotionally. Absolutely, he has to be, because that's the reason why he lost the first fight. He was all over the place. He was gone, right? And I know that a family legacy is on the line, but with these sort of fights, you cannot be too emotional. You have to be practical. You have to stay, on course, and you have to take your chance when you get it. But when you're too emotional, your brain is clouded. You're getting hit in the head anyway in the first place, by the way. So your brain is all over the place. And then when you're too emotional, it's just hard for you to get the upper hand. So I think he's going to be better in this fight. Absolutely.
Nah, true. Listen, my people, if you're just joining the live stream, it's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. I'm joined by my bro, Bright, from the Bright Show Boxing Podcast. Make sure, if you're not subscribed, make sure you head over to his channel, like, subscribe. He's one of the real ones as well. Me and him, what me and Brad was talking about just before we came live on air, we was talking about collabing more between the two channels. So sometimes I'll have him here as a guest. Sometimes I want to go to his channel as well. Do you know what I mean? So that we're similar-minded people, we have a passion for boxing. So we're going to bring our ideas together, do you know what I mean? Our love for boxing, and we're going to be sharing a lot of content together. So make sure you head over to the Bright Show Boxing Podcast and make sure you subscribe as well, do you know what I mean? If you subscribe to his channel, it's basically like subscribing to my channel, because we're very similar. We share the same passion. So go over there and support the brother as well. We're both going to really appreciate that. What I want you to do, my people, if you're in the audience, if you got any questions at all, just, write down your questions, and what I'll do, before the end of the stream, me and Bright will answer the questions, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be about boxing. If you want to know something personal about Bright, I don't know, maybe you want to know what school he went to, whatever.
Anything
Feel
at all.
free, he's open.
Anything.
Ask him, get to know him.
Yeah.
If you want to ask me. If you want to ask about boxing, anything you want to know.
Any question.
Yeah, pop the questions, and what we'll do, we'll give a little 5 to 10 minutes at the end where we're going to answer any questions that you people have. So I'm going to go back to the video of Bright breaking down the fight between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Let's crack on with it.
Is there anything that you don't agree with so far?
No. Listen, I done my fight breakdown last week, I believe. But me, I looked at more like from a tactical overview of the fight, like what both fighters can do to win the fight, you know. But I didn't look at the emotional aspect of things. Do you know what I mean? So what you've done is I think you've mixed both of it. So you're giving me ideas because I haven't actually dropped my main tactical breakdown. So I'm gonna probably drop it like in the next couple of days with my prediction as well. But just watching your one, so far I do agree with it. I think when it comes to the emotional, mental edge, I do agree with you.
But the reason why I touch on the emotional side because this is like a football derby, right? It's like we're both Man United fans, right? It's like Man United versus Liverpool. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how informed each team is. When it's derby, form goes out the window.
That goes out the window. Yeah, you're right.
It's all about passion, emotion, willing to win over your adversaries. And so this fight is like a Man United versus Liverpool sort of fight, right? It's family feud. Both fighters fought 30 odd years ago, and the Bens want revenge over the Eubanks, and the Eubanks want to, keep the winning advantage over the Bens. So this is an emotional thing. It's not a tactical. It's an emotional fight. So whoever wins the emotional edge wins this fight. And Chris Eubank Jr. emotionally was better in this fight than Conor Benn. And that's why he won this fight, I think. The physical side is there. But as you and I know, boxing is 80% mental and 20% physical. Yeah. And Eubank Jr. won the mental aspects of this fight before they got in the ring. And that's where this fight was won outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Just like his father won the first fight outside of the ring before he won it in the ring.
Edge, innit?
Yeah.
Nah, you're right, man. I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you. Like the football analogy is actually, it makes perfect sense. Like, when there's this much history between the families, it's gonna come down to that, just the grit, the courage. Who wants it more on the night? Because I think even Eubank Jr., he said himself, like, he could have went down in that 11th round because Conor Benn was hitting him with some bombs, but he just stayed up for his family. You know what I mean? He thought about him losing that family legacy. He's like, nah, bro, I can't do this. I have to stay up. And you're right. That's what kept him up. That just that sheer willing to win and not lose mentality got him through that fight, man. But anyways, let's finish your video, man. I want to get through this.
But he has to stay emotionally switched on. He cannot get dragged into a dogfight. He needs to get his head in the game and he needs to stay switched on. The second thing that I noticed is that Conor Benn has plans go and do the work there. And to do that, he has to get closer to the target. Conor Benn was way too far from Chris Eubank Jr. He started throwing shots that do not land. He's all over the place. And every time that he throws these big shots that do not land, he's losing energy, he's open to counters, and he's just not having the success that he imagines that he wants to have. So he needs to close the distance, he needs to stay in range, and when he gets close, then he has to let his hands go because that is when he's going to have success. He's explosive, he's aggressive, he can punch, although there's questions about his punching power at 160. Nevertheless, Chris Eubank Jr. is a dehydrated fighter that can be knocked out if the right punches land. And Conor Benn, if he's able to get closer by closing the distance, using better footwork than he did in the first fight, he can actually get Chris Eubank Jr. out of there. And then the third thing that I saw Conor Benn do is that...
Yeah, I agree with that part there. Conor Benn, I think when he go to I think I'm watching here round 6. As soon as he go to round 6, like the game plan was out the window. He just started swinging for the fences, and it made him look. He made him look really wild because I think Junior was popping him with some solid jabs. He was catching him from range. So Conor Benn, F it, man. I'm just gonna throw the kitchen sink, and that's the mistake. These middle rounds here, from round 6 to round 9, that's where Conor Benn lost it because he started throwing, got tired, like you said, and again, what kept him there is just
determination.
Determination.
He doesn't want to lose. The fear of losing. I'll put it that way. The fear of losing is what got him through that fight, right? The fear of losing, like his dad did, right? Because you sit at the dinner table and you can't talk about your Eubanks. right?
Nah,
Right, that's 2-0,
no
right?
chance.
You sit at the dinner table and you can't mention a Eubank name, right? And that fear of losing is why he was still in there taking shots and missing and just swinging like a madman, really. You know?
Nah, yeah, those middle rounds were crazy the way he was swinging, man. Look at him. Look. If you look here, let me just get my. You see his stance there. Look how square he's standing. So
Yeah, he's standing
he
square.
throws
Yeah,
a wild left there, but look how square he is. Like, I mean, if Eubank Jr. right there in that moment can shift his foot, do you know the punch that that Usyk finished Dubois with, the left
yeah,
hook where he shifted.
yeah,
He went. Was it the
yeah,
left? Yeah, it was the left.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah. It was
left
left.
hook
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Eubank
yeah,
Jr. can do that in this position. So if Eubank Jr. can shift his left leg slightly to
yeah,
the left, just move it to the left, and he raises
yeah,
his left hook. Look how
yeah.
open
Bang.
Conor Ben is.
Yeah,
Look
he's
his
there for the
chin.
taking.
His chin is in the air. His hands are on his waist. One big bang from a big bang from Junior there. Conor Ben is out. Look, he's
It's done.
standing
It's done.
square.
Yeah,
He's tired. One left hook is look how open it is.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over.
It's
It's
finished.
only because Junior was probably thinking, damn, I need to get off the ropes here. But
He was shattered as well. Yeah,
yeah, this is like from Conor Ben, this is poor, man.
yeah, yeah. Now, but you see there, yeah, that is emotions and there's two things. Number one, emotions, and then number two, Conor Ben is not the most technically gifted fighter. So these
Yeah,
are mistakes that he's making that he because he's so wild and so emotional, he's just fighting off emotions really. And those silly mistakes, like Dubois made those silly mistakes because against Usyk is because he wants to get rid of Usyk so bad that he doesn't realize he's making these silly mistakes, and that is and if you make these mistakes with Usyk, you won't get away with it. And we
nah.
saw it. We saw that massive, left hook that came from Togo, right? It came from like Burkina Faso, like that left hook came from God knows where it came from, right? And you're not surviving that. If you get hit with those shots,
Nah, and,
you
and,
don't
and the thing
survive
is,
that.
if you go back to that fight and you watch the slow-mo replay, you can
Yeah.
see Dubois saw the punch. Like Dubois actually tried to raise his right hand. He knew he's looking at it from the corner of his eye. He can see it coming too late.
It's too late.
He
It's too late.
tried, it's too late.
It's
Like
too late.
I think at
That's
that point,
yeah.
Dubois accepted his fate. He's like, I'm getting knocked out here.
Yeah, because Usyk slipped. So basically, what Usyk did it was a pull counter, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
it's like he baited him into throwing the right hand, and then he pulls back, right?
Yeah, that's what he did.
And then he pulls back and then dug his heels into the canvas because that's where the power is coming from. He digs his heels into the canvas, and then throws. And it wasn't just any hook, right? It was a hook that he turns over. So it's not like that, right? It's not him like this. This is different. It was a hook that comes from upward trajectory down.
Bam.
So that's why I said
that's where that power came from.
Yeah, so that's why I said it comes from Burkina Faso or something. Like, that's where it comes from. And when it lands, it's different. The power is different. And that's some Ukrainian Ivan lives in a village, he said. sort of punch, right? And it's game over, really. So
I felt sorry for Dubois, man.
Yeah. Well,
as soon as that punch landed, I just man, this is
Don Charles didn't make Dubois' job any easier. That's Don Charles. This is Don Charles' fault. Don Charles was the reason why Usyk was so overly aggressive in that fight and wanted to take Dubois' head off. This is all on Don Charles. Yeah.
The
questioning his religion.
Now Don Charles is crying in. He's talking about he was betrayed, etc., etc.
Question his religion. Question everything about the man.
Yeah, that was bad.
Usyk came in there looking to do damage. He came in there looking to absolutely obliterate Dubois.
Dubois, yeah.
And Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw. So yeah.
Nah, that was crazy, man. But anyway, let's get back. Let's finish this video.
Instead of
Let's
really
finish, yeah.
taking his time to know that he's in range, throwing it the right way, throwing it down the pipe, he's just bowling it over, and Chris Eubank Jr. keeps dipping down, which again leaves himself for a counter. But Conor Benn is so emotionally invested, his head is gone, that he does not realize that he needs to throw his shots properly, because he would have had more success if he threw those shots straight when in range, rather than just bowling it and swinging it and winging it all over the place and not having success with it. Besides that, Chris Eubank Jr.'s body was there for the taking. And for a fighter that is dehydrated, Conor Benn should have invested more in the body, and then the head would be there for the taking at some point in that fight. But instead, Conor Benn was headhunting all night, very aggressive, wasting energy, throwing shots that do not land, and he just leaves himself open for counters. And I believe that was the main reason why Conor Benn did not have success that he needed in the first fight. If he can work on this in the second fight, I think he's going to have more success. So you guys get in the comment section and let me know about the things I've discussed in this video. How do you see this fight playing out? Who do you think wins this fight? Do you give Conor Benn any chance at all? Do you think Eubank Jr. can stop Conor Benn even earlier this time around? Or do you think this fight goes the distance? This is the Bryce Show Podcast Boxing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
So,
nah, bro, nice breakdown, man. I like that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, man, I agree with 99% of what the things that you said, man. I would say that myself. I agree with that breakdown. I didn't really look at it from an emotional point of view a lot, so you made me see a different side to it from a psychological point of view as well, which is very crucial. Like you said, man, 80% of boxing is like what psychological energy, you know what I mean? Mental warfare or not. That's a good take. Listen, my people, man, make sure you go show that video love, the Bright Show Podcast Boxing. Make sure you go over there. My brother Bright, he's over there. He does boxing analysis, fight breakdowns. He does the lot. Soon he's gonna start doing live shows as well for the fights. Once he sorts his softwares out, he's gonna start doing that. So watch out for that as well. Head over there, show the video some love, smash the likes, drop a comment, and also make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of the brother Bright. Now, let's really get into this. Now, you haven't done your prediction video yet, have you?
No, I've
When's
got
that
one.
dropping?
I've got probably on Thursday. I'll do my prediction video. Excuse me, but I do have a video that I want to drop. I've seen some comments about fans about the price of this fight.
Okay.
And I want to drop a video about it. I'm not going to give more away here. I'm going to drop a video about the pricing of this fight and the fact that fans don't think that this is worth it, right? The first fight was worth it because of the spectacle that it was. But I think the pricing is a bit more problematic. But we'll talk about that.
Pricing
and then,
in terms of what the pay-per-view price?
The pay-per-view, yeah. I've seen if some fans online, complain a little bit about being a bit too much, for a fight that we've seen already, and the hype around is not the same as the last fight, right? So people are having a bit of moan about it, but I think it's worth talking about it because it is a very important part of the fight, right? The spectacle of it, and also in the UK, I don't think we're used to paying that much for fights, right? In the US, they pay like $180, dollars.
Yeah, it's crazy over there, man.
Yeah, it was crazy over there. But in the UK, we're not used to paying that much. But the fight has to be worth it. And I don't know, and a lot of fans don't think that the second fight now is worth the money. But we'll talk about that.
How much is it exactly? How much is it? You know,
I think it's $24.99.
I thought it would be $19.99.
Yeah, that exactly. Right, it's $24.99 on the zone, and the fight itself is an 18 million purse. 18 million purse, 60-40, 40 to Eubank Jr. 60 to Eubank Jr., 40 to Conor Benn. And then
the undercard is not even that good, is it? The undercard.
Yeah, so there's questions about a bit of scam here, but we talk about that.
But you know what? Touching on that price, you do make a valid point there, because Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley, I think it was $24.99. Yeah, the pay-per-view. That was what? Just over 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're gonna pay another $24.99 for the Ben Eubank Jr. And then the following week we've got Benavides versus Yard. That's another $24.99. I mean, listen, that's silly, man.
So I understand why a lot of fans are complaining about it online.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth breaking it down and sort of putting things into perspective and criticizing Eddie Hearn for a little bit because
that's silly. But let us know, man. Let us know in the comments what you think about the pricing, man. Will you be buying this fight? Will you be? I don't know, man. I'm sure you've got other means of watching it, but will you be? Will you be investing anything in these fights? Let us know in the comments, man. Let us know, my people. We want to find out what your thinking is behind it. Now, a lot was made of the rehydration clause in the first fight. Chris Eubank Jr. was fined for showing the way he was cutting weight, etc., etc. Do you think that's gonna play? Do you think that's gonna play another role in this fight? Do you think Chris Eubank Jr. is gonna come in drained again, or do you think this time he'll just take the fight and say, you know what, F you, I'm coming in heavy?
I think he's paid too many fines already. He keep losing money. And he's gonna get sued by Eddie Hearn for saying that Eddie Hearn, delayed his ambulance, and Frank Warren wants to sue him for calling him, in a press conference in Saudi. So if Eubank Jr. keeps taking these fines, he'd have to work at Tesco after the fight. He has to get a normal job. He has to go.
I think he's paid just under £1 million in fines in the last year.
If he keeps getting these fines, he might have to go to the local car wash and get a job there with the lads, So I don't think he's gonna take the fine. I think he's gonna try his best, and because he missed weight. Was it 5 ounces? Was it that? Yeah. So I think he's gonna try his best.
Less than that. It's probably less than that.
Yeah. It's like a battery, right? A double AAA battery sort of size.
It wasn't much.
Weight, sorry. Yeah. So I think he's gonna try his best not to come in overweight. Because nobody loves losing money, and that's a lot of money. He lost 500,000 pounds
for the weight loss, for missing weight.
Yeah, and then Conor Benn went to buy a Rolls Royce with that money.
I know, I saw that.
Why do you want to keep giving the guy, money to go and buy Lamborghinis and stuff like that? No. So I think he's going to be disciplined and come in weight. But in the end, that weight restricts him, right? In the end, that weight, he's fighting restricted. If he was full weight, then I think he gets rid of Conor Benn pretty early. But I'll do my prediction video about this, and I'll talk about, because I think it is a pivotal part of the fight and how this fight plays out in a rematch. So, but I think he's going to be disciplined and not coming overweight. Absolutely.
Without giving your prediction video away, just give us a little snippet. Early prediction for me, just give us a little overview of how you think the fight will unfold and who you think will be the potential winner, without giving away the video that you're going to drop later on this week.
First thing to sort of mention there, I think Bomac is a very important part.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, you're right.
I think Bomac makes the difference in this fight. I think he brings something different to what the first fight was. And I think Eubank Jr. has the upper hand. And I think that Eubank Jr. will stamp his authority early. I think he'll push Conor Benn back. And I think Eubank Jr. would show that he's the better. I think Eubank Jr. is better in every department than Conor Benn.
He's the better boxer.
Yeah, he's a better boxer. Maybe power, but even Conor Benn is coming to 160. That power is not the same as 147, right? So, look, I think Eubank Jr. is definitely going to have the upper hand. But I'll go a bit more in detail when I do my prediction video. But I think Eubank Jr. will have the upper hand. And I have a feeling that something happens in this fight, and I'll talk about it more in my prediction video.
You know what, before we move on, we're nearly done anyway. I've been here for what? just over an hour. So, you know, the time of the night, I think you've got things to do in the morning. I've got things to do in the morning. So we're nearly gone. But there's something we're gonna miss from this fight. Is that mystique? Is that area of unknown that we had from the first fight, right? We didn't really know how things would pan out. And also the beef between Junior and Senior, right? Senior was saying, I'm not gonna be there. I don't want my son to die, etc. We're not gonna get that no more. Will Senior be there? Will he not be there? It added a bit of excitement, like you said, to the fight. It was worth the $24.99 last time because we got value for money. And one of the moments that touched me, that I think is probably one of the greatest moments in not even UK boxing history, like just boxing history in general.
Just boxing history,
is this moment, yeah? And I'm gonna flip my screen. It is the entrance, right? It's this moment for me. Let's just the iconic moment when no one thought that Senior would turn up. And the guy just comes out that Rolls Royce, and this was, for me, I was nailing tears. This was magic. Let's just review that moment again. Nah, man, that was a beautiful moment when Senior, you know, we didn't know he's gonna be there. He comes out of nowhere. That was beautiful, man. What did you think of that moment when you saw it, when you was watching the fight?
I think that is one of the moments that will be played over and over and over and over, for years and years to come, because that's such a pivotal moment in British boxing history. Because this is the first time that sons of two rivals have fought in boxing.
Yeah.
Right. So this is part of British boxing history. Yeah. Forever. I don't think if maybe in 100 years we will see something similar, a fight like this where two rivals kids fight 30 years after. So that moment there, and the fact that they were having issues, both of them haven't spoken to each other in 2 years, and Chris Eubank Jr. went out there saying that his son must be mad and that he's never going to be in his corner. It was a beautiful moment. It was an incredible moment. And when I saw that, I got goosebumps. And then I saw that, and I knew that this is going to be a fight. When I saw that, I knew, wait, this is a fight. Now this is a fight. And I love Chris Eubank Sr. He's such a showman, you know, and he's got a really unique perspective on life and in boxing and things like that. So I really enjoyed that moment. Absolutely. I think it's going to be played over and over again in boxing, in British boxing forever. What did you feel when you saw that?
Yeah, nah, you know me, at that time, I didn't start doing my live shows yet. Because normally when you're doing a live show, you don't really appreciate the moments, you know. But at that time, I didn't do the live shows yet. I was watching in my house and I was just sitting there. I was like, wow, like this is just, wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had hairs at the back of my neck. I was like, this is unreal, man. Like, it just felt,
it's unbelievable.
It felt so special. Like, you know, that moment is one of those moments when, if you got beef with your family members or a very good friend, long-term friend, you're ringing them up and just squashing it. Say, listen, life is short.
Squash that beef.
Just squash the beef. Let's just
squash that beef.
You know, let's go for a meal or something. Let's catch up for a drink. It was a fantastic moment. Like, you know, we're not gonna get that again because we've had it already. There's not really that hype no more. But that was big. That was big. Quick one. We're near the end, Bright. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Like I said, Bright is going to be regular guest. Me and him, we're going to be going back and forth.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing live shows on his channel. We're going to be doing live shows on my channel. We don't know what we're going to call the podcast yet on your channel, because this one is called Keeping It Real. This one here is Keeping It Real every Monday, the boxing podcast. What I'm going to do, I'm going to be getting different guests to come on. And also, if you're in the audience, if you know any other YouTuber that covers boxing content that's similar to me and Bright, even if it's not similar, but you know, if you like how they operate, how they go about their business, let me know their names, and then what we'll do, me and Bright will do some research, we'll look out for them, and we might bring them on a show so that they can participate with the both of us. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, every Monday I'm here. Bright is gonna start doing his live shows as well, so make sure you look out for that, because he's probably gonna post it on his community post when he's gonna start doing lives. Stay tuned in that. But Bright, you're gonna be this is family, man. You're here.
Yeah.
This is your home. Anytime.
That's it. Absolutely. And our show, we're gonna find a name for it. We're gonna
Yeah.
fight. We're gonna
We need
find
to
a day.
get a podcast
Yeah, a
just for
proper
me and
day.
you.
Yeah. Where we catch up on things, talk about boxing
Everything.
and everything involved. We're gonna have a day for it. We're gonna have a time
Yeah.
that we do it every week that's suitable for the audience. We're gonna have a name for it, so we're known for that, and then we'll get it on. So yeah, absolutely, we're
We
gonna do
just need
that,
to,
man.
yeah. I'm sure boxing has so many analogies. We'll find the name.
Yeah,
we'll find the name. Before we go, we've got like 5 minutes left. Quick early prediction for the fight on Saturday night: Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben. I know you're gonna drop your prediction video, which is gonna come, later this week. Make sure you go check that out as well. But early on, what's your mood? What's your feeling? Who you going for right now? At this moment of time, who do you think takes it?
Right now, I think it's a competitive fight.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking middle rounds, this fight stops.
Middle rounds.
Stops in the middle rounds. Yeah. Middle rounds after 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, after 7. Because that's when I saw that both fighters were tired in the last fight. And I think that, after 7, this fight stops after 7. And I have a big feeling that, there could be a surprise there. There could be a surprise in there that nobody's expecting how this fight ends. But I have a feeling that it doesn't go past 10 rounds this time around. Yeah.
At the moment, I'm on the fence here. I'm gonna drop my prediction after I see the weigh-in. How Chris Eubank Jr. is looking. Once I see that, then I'm gonna do my prediction. I'm not gonna do it too early, but I just got a feeling. That there's gonna be a trilogy, man. There's so much money. Because I remember when I saw the face-off, Conor Ben was saying that this fight was meant to be at Wembley. The fight was meant to be in September, the rematch at Wembley.
Yeah.
So that just tells you that, what's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? That's what, 60,000?
60.
Wembley's what, 90,000? So they believe they could have done an extra 30,000 people. So I just got a feeling it might be a draw or a Conor Ben KO and we get the trilogy next year. I'm just getting a feeling this won't. I don't feel it's gonna be this family feud. I don't think we get closure this weekend. I'm just getting a feeling there won't be closure. I think there'll be one more fight. That's my feeling. I'm sitting on the fence. I'm gonna let you people know on Friday once we get a weigh in. Yeah. So that is it. That is it. Bright said what he said. I said what I said. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Now, I'm just going to read out some questions quickly for me and Bright to answer. And then we're going to wrap it up because we've been here, nearly 2 hours. So we got to go to sleep. We got things to do. So, Bright, I'm just going to read out some questions here that we didn't read last time. Farhan Kareem, is Howard Foster the referee for this fight? Most Itauma, surely not. I don't think Howard Foster is going to be the referee simply because there's too much heat on his name right now. I think they're going to keep him away from that, but don't be surprised if Howard Foster is back in the near future for another fight. What they're going to do is they're going to give Howard Foster some little fights, just to keep his name away from the heat, and then he might get a big fight next year. What's your take on that, Bright? Howard Foster being the referee for the Moses Itauma versus Franklyn fight?
I don't think he'll be the referee, but if Frank wants to do some backward stuff, I'm sure he can find another referee to do that job, for him. So I think it's going to be another referee, not Howard Foster. But it doesn't matter. If they're going to rob Franklyn, they'll do it. It doesn't matter who's going to be there. It doesn't matter which referee is going to, it's going to be in the middle of the ring. They're still going to do it. So I don't think we should focus too much on Howard Foster, because if it's not Howard Foster, it'll be somebody else. Really.
Yeah, because you're right. Because look at the example of when Justice Huni fought against Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, it wasn't Howard
Foster.
Foster.
That referee, people criticizing him for the count was too quick.
Yeah.
He
There you go.
didn't give Hooney. Because if you look at the way Hooney got knocked down and he got back up, but then you look at Tyson Fury, like how many? Oh,
Fury hit every single corner of that ring. Yeah, Fury hit every single corner of that ring, and he was still, on his feet. And the referee should have stopped that fight, and they kept him on. So, yeah, that's how these things go.
It's not even the Fury versus Usyk fight as well. Fury versus Wilder won. Remember, I think it was round 12.
Oh,
remember he got
when he
knocked.
was on
The referee could have
was that
waved
Jack
off.
Reese? Jack Reese.
Someone like that. But look how long Tyson Fury got. He got at least a minute to recover, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a Fury hater or anything like that. I'm just saying, there's bias when it comes to some of these British fighters. They seem to get more time to recover.
Yeah, but I think is it also because there's a title on the line? Like when there's a bit of title on the line, the leniency to let fight go is quite there. So it could be that because there was a title on the line.
No, but Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley, that was an eliminator.
Yeah.
For Usyk, that's a big fight.
Yeah, that's a massive fight.
That's a massive fight. It means a lot to both men's career, man. Like, listen, we can talk about these referees all night long, man. They're annoying, man. The great one, 9256, he says, 3 rounds max, Moses by stoppage. What's your take on that? 3 rounds max. You said what? Middle rounds. He's going 3 rounds max. Wow. So you think
it goes? Yeah. I think it goes past 3 rounds. Absolutely.
There's no way it's 3 rounds, man.
It has to. If Moses smokes Franklyn in 3 rounds, then goodness gracious.
We're looking at something here, isn't it?
Yeah. Then he's just special. Then he's just that kind of fighter, that Mike Tyson-esque sort of once in a while fighter that you see and go, what is that? Like, what is that? What is he made of?
What's he made of? 3 rounds.
3 rounds. That is. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it goes past 3 rounds.
I'm in agreement with you. He goes past 3. Who else is here? Ivory Pennant 3389. He says he's asking who wins between Fabio Wardley and Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz got fast hands, man.
What a fight! And Ruiz, do you know what? Ruiz is a very good boxer. He doesn't get credit for it, but he's because Ruiz has been boxing since he was a child.
Yeah, I think he's about 5 years old or whatever, man.
Yeah, so he can take a punch. Ruiz can take a good punch.
I remember the fight with him against who's that? Is it Jerome Miller?
Ortiz.
Baby.
Oh yeah, he got
Andy Ruiz. He took some big shots, man. He was just
yeah. Ruiz, and because he's heavy, he can take those thudding punches. So Ruiz can take a punch. Against Fabio Wardley. Do you know the reason why I'll make Fabio Wardley favorite now is because Ruiz has been out of the ring for too long. He's inactive, right?
He's not disciplined as well, man.
He's not disciplined, so I'll make Fabio Wardley the favorite. But yeah, just because Ruiz is just eating, he just eat. He just go and eat.
By a fully fit, focused Andy Ruiz beats Wardley, though.
That's
surely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But you can't bank on Ruiz being
that's the problem.
Fully fit and on it. You can't put your money on Ruiz not coming in overweight and faking pictures on social media to make him look like he's got 6 packs, and then he turns up in the ring looking like like a bag of rice. You can't. He just can't.
Hey, when he won against Joshua.
Yeah.
I think he got $10 million or whatever, $15 million.
He just eat. Yeah.
He just went out there and ate all the tacos in California.
Yeah, you know, because just
Yeah, man.
imagine, right? Imagine you love food,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you have 10 million. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
It's
bought he
not
bought he bought he bought 3 Rolls Royces. 3.
the guys.
That
Ruiz
was
is
crazy, man.
Ruiz is
You see how
crazy. You know.
he turned up in a rematch against Joshua. My God. Oh my.
Yeah.
That was a disgrace, man. That was
You know
the
the
worst shape for a defending champion ever. That was
you know they
bad.
had a dinner. They had a dinner at the Tequila Shake the evening before the fight.
Yeah.
They had a dinner. He was just eating. He was eating everything on that table.
He looked like it the
Just
next day as well.
yeah, just the day before the fight when he's meant to be. You know, like you go, you eat something little, just so you're in. You know, you're focused on the fight. He just eat
Yeah.
everything. He's just,
Man, hey, listen,
you
Andy
know.
Ruiz, man. Listen, I think in one of the podcasts coming up, we need to study. We need to
Yeah.
study who's more indisciplined, like out of Martin Bakole and Andy Ruiz. We need to proper study these two guys. Like in this modern day, 21st century, I don't know how these guys still
How is
cannot
Bacoli?
get a nutritionist. Like it don't
How
make
is
no
Bacoli
sense.
How is Bacoli that size? How is he the same size in every fight?
That's what I'm
How?
saying, man.
You
I
know,
don't know,
like
man.
what is Billy?
Apparently, he's got a nutritionist now. You know, so
Has he?
that's what his coach said.
Let's see.
You know,
Let's
listen.
see.
You see those. I'm Congolese, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know the African food, bro. There's a lot of
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of salt, bro. Like
Yeah.
even me, yeah. Like I don't eat those type of foods like I eat once in a while because I know.
Yeah.
Like my wife
If you,
don't even.
yeah.
I told my wife, do not cook it every day. Like
Yeah.
I can't eat like that. Like I'll lose
Yeah.
it. Like do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a normal guy. I don't fight, and I'm
Yeah.
staying disciplined. So imagine all these professional fighters that are earning millions. It's
Yeah.
listen. We'll do it. We'll do a podcast on that. We need to study these guys, man. One more from Dort One. Jermaine Franklyn doesn't stand a chance. Wow, doesn't stand a chance.
So basically, they're just writing. They're writing him off. You know,
Everyone's writing Jermaine Franklyn off. That's crazy.
Everyone's writing him off. Look, you'd be silly to say Itauma doesn't win this fight, right? But you would be even sillier to think that in a heavyweight fight, that the unthinkable cannot happen, because this is the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Franklyn might land something and then we all be sitting there with our hands on our head like oh my God, what just happened? Right? Like Franklyn might land something and then the whole UK will just shut down. Like literally, TalkSport will just go out of business for 24 hours.
Down.
You know, so you know, we gotta be mindful of that Franklyn has a chance. But
I
how
don't
big
think
this
it's
chance
easy
is,
the way people are talking, man. That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
how big this chance is, we only see on the night. But I think Franklyn has a little bit of chance. You know,
And
maybe
Franklyn will be
20%.
motivated because Franklin's thinking, if I go in and smoke this kid here and stop the hype train, obviously there's definitely a
world is-
rematch clause in there. There's a rematch clause in
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
So if he beats Itauma, the rematch, he gets big money, life-changing money.
yeah.
So that's
Of
even
course.
extra incentive, extra motivation for Franklyn.
This is Franklyn's opportunity. This is it.
Yeah.
Right? If he's gonna get any big fights after this, if he gets beat by Itauma, he's forgotten
over, man.
after next week. If he puts up a good performance or upsets Itauma, his life goes through the roof.
Yeah,
everything changes for him.
You can get a big fight.
So this is his opportunity. This is it. This is it for Franklyn. So I don't think he's gonna come and lay down the way people think he will.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be. I think Itauma starts fast as usual, but I think with Franklyn, we saw him against Joshua. Joshua wasn't able to knock him out. Dillian wasn't able to knock him out. Franklyn has enough self-pride about him to ride a storm. He's not going to be like Dillian White where he's not going to do none of that. Dillian White, I'm sorry, my brother. Listen, some people say I look like Dillian White. I don't see it. But Dillian White, I'm sorry, his legs were gone. I don't want to say he's washed. I don't want to be disrespectful, but Dillian White is... Jermaine Franklyn right now is in better shape than Dillian White. Yeah. So he's going to put up a better fight. Let me see if there's one more. Nemo Dai from Brazil. Good night from Brazil. Nemo, thank you so much for coming through to the show, man. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Brazil.
Bon dia, botardi from Brazil. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone in Brazil. Thanks for showing love. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, please. The Bright Show podcast with my brother Bright, and also here EMGM Sports. Bright, bro, it's done. It's been a nice one. We've just, we've done over 2 hours now. Our first, video together, live together, podcast, whatever you want to call it. How did you find it, man?
Good, man. Good having a conversation, man. Like, we both do individual things on our channels. Yeah. But it's good to come together. I think we've got mutual subscribers.
A lot.
People that follow both of us a lot. So, it's good to give them something. For both of us to come together and really, give them something that they can watch and listen to, as well. And chat boxing, man. I love talking about boxing and analyzing things, and love watching fights. So, happy to be here and really. Happy to see the people getting involved and asking questions. And next time, I'm sure there'll be more people, so we can answer a lot more questions. And as I said, we're gonna make this a regular. We're gonna have our own show with a name to it, a time that people know that this is our time, that they can, come live and watch us, discuss boxing, and that's coming up. But yeah, it's good to start this off, and let's keep it going, man.
Yeah, like Bryce said, we're going to be going in between the channels. Like some lives we'll do on his channel, some will be on my channel. We'll get a dedicated time and day that, we'll do a podcast, whatever. Because like Bryce said, we do have a lot of similar viewers, really, that go back and forth between the channels. So the platform is already there. So yeah, we are going to be bringing you, more content. Sometime I think what we should do as well, do like a collab on a fight breakdown where we go, we bounce off ideas between each other. So we're going to do that. And I think we should do, what we should do as well? I think we should do a post-fight reaction as well. Next week, probably Monday.
Right after the fight.
We can do on Sunday evening or Monday. Let's see what we're both doing. If we're both busy, then what we might do, we might record it and then just release it.
And then,
we might do it live. We'll see the timing and stuff.
Yeah, we see what it is, right? Yeah. We might record it and then we release it.
We release it. We record it. We release it on both channels. You release it on your channel. I release it on my channel. Yeah. So we'll be doing that. But
or we might do a live.
I think a live is easier.
Yeah. I think we got to look into doing a live where we can have it live on both channels. We got to see how we can get that.
I'm sure we can do it.
I don't know if that's possible.
I think it is possible. I'll research it. I'm sure we can. I've seen other people do it, so I'm sure we can do it. That you can do crossover. You can do it. We're gonna do that. Any things that people might have to wait on? Anything coming up on your channel in the next few days that people have to look out for?
Yeah, so I'll be reacting to Itauma versus Jermaine Franklyn. There's something I want to talk about, something particular that I've realized about this fight that I'm going to talk about. I'm also going to talk about the pricing around Eubank Jr. versus Ben, and how a lot of fans have raised some issues around that. I think is really important to talk about that. I'm going to do my final prediction video before Saturday for the fight, Eubank Jr. And then Anthony Yard versus Benavidez. I'm going to do a video about Anthony Yard. And then I'll do my final prediction after that. So there's a lot of content coming my way
through
on the Bright Show podcast, boxing. The link will be in the description of this. as well. And I think you can do an at in a title as well. I think.
Yeah, everything will be everything will be on the description. You'll
below.
find all the details there.
Yeah. So I'll be doing a lot on breakdown, but I'm looking forward to us doing our thing where we can give our audience a lot more time and breakdowns and things like that, and really chat boxing, and sometimes as well we should open the floor for some people to join, so some of our audiences
you know what, I did mention it on my live last week. I did say what I want to do. I might open up the phone, so viewers can call in, because the thing is, obviously, look, the difference between me and you and everyone else, we're boxing fans, and we don't shy away from exposing ourselves, putting ourselves out there. We show our face and we're talking about boxing, but there's a lot of people like me and you that have a passion for boxing, that have a passion. Oh, wait. Blood. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that have a passion for boxing. However, they're nervous, they don't want to show their face, but they're very talented. Do you know what I mean? So it's good sometimes to bring those people up, because they might add a little something to us as well. A bit of knowledge that maybe we're missing, they might add it. So like Bright said, we might start on the future shows, we might actually get some viewers to come on and participate as well. Yeah. That'll be big. Yeah, that'll be big.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, absolutely.
Any final words, bro?
Do it.
We're done.
Yeah,
we're
man.
Basically done.
Look, I appreciate everyone joining in the live chats and asking questions and really getting involved. Really appreciate it. This is what boxing is all about. We're all boxing fans. We just love talking about boxing. Happy to be here. Happy to interact, and don't forget to hit subscribe to this video, like, leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, The Bright Show Podcast Boxing. Hit the like button, subscribe to that as well. And let's keep building this community, and then we go from there. And cheers to everyone that joined.
Where can they find you on the socials, bro?
Yeah, so on socials, on Instagram, The Bright Show, and of course, on YouTube as well, on Twitter, The Bright Show, on TikTok as well, The Bright Show. Everywhere, The Bright Show Podcast. Type it in, you'll find me. Very easy. Let's go.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do as well, for people that are gonna watch this back, all the links I will drop it in the description. So everything's gonna be there. Make sure you give everyone a follow, like my bro Bryce said. Listen, guys, it was a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you share the link, smash the likes, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You're gonna help us to grow, and you're gonna help with the algorithm, YouTube algorithm. That's another video that me and Bright are gonna drop, because we're fed up of YouTube taking a Mickey out of smaller channels. They're really not helping us. So that's another frustration that we have. But we didn't wanna. It wasn't appropriate to speak about it today, but there will be a time and a place that we will vent our frustrations against YouTube. They need to get some of that smoke. So watch out for that video. So, but my people, thank you so much for everyone who showed love, who commented, who watched today, who tuned in, man. Really appreciate it. For me, Enzo, the realest in the game, I'm out. Bright.
All right. See you guys.
Peace out.